4, 3, 2, 1.
You are watching Marathon Alliance. This is the blog by GSPS. Upcoming we have the Hotline Miami, new game plus all levels by JACK4L. Without further ado, actually, JACK4L, take it away.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm JACK4L and this is Hotline. This is a game I have devoted my entire speedrunning career to. A game I lost many hours of my life to. And a game that has destroyed my last shreds of mental health, as so it did for my commentator Urenstein. Hello Uren.
Yes, hello. I have also lost many hairs. I have many gray hairs nowadays because of Hotline.
Yeah, so I think that that will be enough for now. So the timer will shall start as I hit the start new game in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so Hotline, it's a top-down shoot 'em up, and that's all we're gonna do today.
Yeah, so Hotline is a 2D top-down shooter. It's kind of specific. Because enemies die in one hit, but you also die in one hit. The enemies are dumb and driven by relatively primitive AI algorithms, but in principle they react fast. So what your advantage is at this point is the intelligence, planning up ahead, and obviously dealing with a crap ton of RNG this game surely has. We are playing NG Plus category, which means we have already all masks unlocked, and during the entire run I'm going to use only one of the masks, Brandon. His ability is to move 30% fast in the other masks. Some other masks also include Tony, who has deadly fists, Jake, who has deadly throws, or Richter, let's say, who starts with silenced gun. But Brandon is the most optimal choice for the most levels. And also, if you were to switch masks, you have to just scroll over where the game just reminds your last pickup like that. So you just don't have to lose time. So there's just an sort of unwritten rule that if you pick up a mask, then you just stick with it until the very end. Also, the category all levels means that I have to beat all of the levels fair and square, because some of the levels can be skipped through a very specific way, by finishing off people either over or under the car, which allows you to save some time, but in this category we are doing that. And also we are beating the game from a single segment, which means we can't do menuing. In theory I could just go to the menu every time I beat the level, and then select the new level from there, but that would make the rule set quite arbitrary, so I can't do that. So that's why the single segment situation exists.
Yeah, it's basically no major glitches of Hotline, since we don't skip the levels. There's like a ton of small things where you could argue maybe that's a glitch. You can pick up weapons through walls, for example, which comes in handy sometimes. But nothing. Well, we will see some glitches that are fun and useful, but nothing major.
Yep. This game, there is some free glitches to exact, but it's not like they skip some difficult part of the game. They just skip nothing but walking. So it's kind of cool because you need some kind of skill to connect with them. So it's not like you're skipping with them like some vital part of the gameplay, unless you can put in the same league row walking, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Hotline is really a speed game for people who liked the game, right? Because you get more of the game, and it kind of feels like well, sometimes it feels like the game doesn't want to be played at all, but at other times it feels
Sure.
like this is what the game wants to be played like. Like, there's an in-game timer and there's like the game incentivizes you to be fast and to get combos and swap weapons and to be reckless, and so it's a unique experience in speed games, in my like compared to all the big ones that have all the big glitches. This is probably the level where we should warn people of an incoming loud sound. It's also a really hard level in general. The first 4 levels, we didn't talk much about them. They are quite simple. The game gets more complicated as it goes on. And on the next floor of this level, there will be a really loud sound. We incentivize people to turn their sound down a little bit until the level is done.
Just don't ask why, just do what we say or you might
Yeah.
So I'll give you a brief countdown.
Especially if you're on
3,
headphones,
2,
turn it
1.
down.
There we go.
Now you can turn it up again. That's already the level.
Yeah, unfortunately enough, we're going to hear that thing only once in the run, so nothing to worry about really. Yeah, so that's one of these small glitches when you can go into the trunk like that, but it only applies to the first level of any given chapter and saves like looping half a second every time. So another level is pretty straightforward. There's just a crumble like on the ground like that, and we are going to use it to clear most of the level. Also, this level sucks. Usually likes the level, but I don't.
It's my favorite level. This is a very simple one because there's just so many rooms and doors, so you don't run into and you do most of it with melee weapon, so you don't get hurt. You don't have to deal with big numbers of weird enemies, and they'll change. What's the next level? No, it won't change in the next. It'll change in like 3-4 minutes, where you'll have to deal with enemies who are far away. They can see you, or you created a lot of noise, so you have to deal with people coming from.
I don't like
from
the
far
level.
away.
I don't like the level because sometimes it kills you 2 cycles. Like you just walk to the enemy and he just kills you. And there's nothing you can do about that. And there's like 2 moments, at least. But anyway, this is unique level, clean hit, because we can use some cool feature.
Yeah, here instead of hiding from these people, you just hide in plain sight, because those waiters. They have a special AI protocol, and they cannot see you when you're hugging that wall. So it looks weird, but you just stand there and shoot them from inside the room.
Yeah, that's a cool feature because you don't need to have some special skills, you just have to be aware that it exists, and the life gets simpler at once.
And that's a lot of Hotline. The skill ceiling, like the mechanical skill ceiling, isn't terribly high. Of course, you can always be a bit crisper with your movement and your aim, but most of what you need to learn is in your head. You need to know what happens. You will need to get familiar with all the patterns that emerge from the RNG, and you will have to get familiar with all the unintuitive things that happen in this game. A lot of the behaviors are unintuitive.
Yeah, I've already said that the game has a lot of RNG, so it has random reaction times based on cycles. Enemies have random weapons.
Which means you have random weapons, importantly.
Yep. There are specific enemies called roamers, which walk randomly. So that's also an RNG because they can sometimes rule a little in your day, and they just sometimes be spotted in the place when you don't expect them to see them in the first place. So this is the boss fight, and I press space in the elevator, and that's gonna be very important. So this is a boss. So the thing is,
the boss is pretty boring.
Yes, and the specific thing about the boss is I don't just run away from him erratically. I can actually control this movement like this. I don't know how to precisely describe that, but if he moves left, okay, Okay, so I got him stuck in the door, that's cool. So I want to show his decliver to very specific place like this. So you probably ask why the bother, because of this. Okay, there's an actual explanation to that. You're interested if you could.
Yeah, so as Jackal said, he pressed space in the elevator when he went into the floor, and that's because every time you're stuck in a wall and finish whatever you were doing, the game will want to spawn you back and not have you stuck. So when it puts you back from your action, it checks whether you're in the wall and says, oh, I don't want you to be stuck, so I'm gonna put you where you last pressed space, and we can abuse that in this specific case by pressing space in the elevator, and so it looks like a teleport. I mean, it is a teleport. It took us quite a few years to figure that one out.
Yeah, and also it says 5 seconds. It looks like it's more than 5 seconds, but it's just 5 seconds. Basically.
Yeah, Brandon walks fast.
That's 3 times. So, given how the game short is, I mean for our school level at least, I expect the game to be given like 25 kilometers or so.
Oh, that's the RNG right there. You would hope that first of all, he came here with a shotgun because he had no choice. You would prefer a rifle in that case, so that you can lure those enemies from the right side of the room towards you, but well, we didn't have a rifle and they didn't get lured by the shooting because they're really finicky about their sound reactions.
Yeah, and the sound reactions is also partially RNG because if you lure someone, it makes enemies, they won't come exactly to the point you shoot. It just makes like a random field they can arrive at. And should that field touch the wall, the pathfinder will fail. It works something like that as far as I'm concerned.
It is something like that. Like I never quite understood it, to be honest. It's so weird. This game is so weird. But yeah, it has that weird RNG and it's buggy on top of it. Dude, that guy just wanted to go home.
I expected to kill them both in one shot. That's yeah. Also, shotgun spread is also random.
Yeah, bullets basically just go where they want to.
Yeah, sometimes you can have something called V-spreads when the bullets just go anywhere except the area your crosshair was, and that's really annoying. And also it doesn't help either that bullets hitboxes are in general small. The enemies hitboxes are in general small, and they have a chance to survive a bullet at like 25% ratio. So even if I have an automatic weapon like assault rifle, I have to shoot the singular targets with the bursts of 3 to 4 bullets to make sure I actually kill them.
Yeah, you want to shoot 3 bullets because one of them is gonna miss. It's almost guaranteed, and one of them is not gonna kill them probably. So
yeah, that works
always
this
3 or more. Yeah.
That works this way.
Oh shit! Yeah, oops. the hammer did. The hammer doesn't have a downtime. You just hold left click and it always has a hitbox in front of you. It's one of the very few weapons that you don't have to time the swings. Normally there is a skill in timing your melee swings because in between swings you're vulnerable. But yeah, the hammer is a weird one where you don't.
Yeah, also when you're when you can mention of swings, you can't do anything except moving. Like you can throw the weapon away, you can't execute anyone. You just have
and that goes for pretty much all things. When you shoot a shotgun, it takes you half a second before you can do anything. Even throwing away the shotgun you just shot, you can't do that. So it's there's a lot of very what's the word? Well, small things, you gotta get used to in Hotline that can ruin your day if you're not aware of them or if your timings are off. It's rough. The game doesn't communicate any of that to you, really. Oh, nice shot. Yeah,
on the speedrun.com page we have an entire lecture about Hotline mechanics by yours truly, Urenstein, and it clocks at 2 hours as far as I recall correctly.
Yeah, I spent 2 hours talking about how the AI works and how weapon drops work basically. And
Yes,
I don't know if
yes,
it's understandable.
Like you could think that the things like direction of where the weapon falls after you kill people, all of that is irrelevant, but the other bit is relevant.
Yeah. Is this someone in chat is asking? Is the spinning faster movement? Is the spinning faster movement or just fancy?
Fancy.
It's fancy. There's a lot of downtime in this game because
In this category specifically, because you have to go through all the way through these...
all the cutscenes, yeah, but even just like the levels are like 40 seconds long, but 10 seconds of that is just walking out again because you kill everyone and then you have to walk out. So you just sort of spend like that time finicking around. I don't know. It's just when you cut out all the non-gameplay, half the game is not even, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I think that you have on your YouTube channel. And
Yeah, I
also
uploaded
levels
Hotline without
game.
gameplay.
Yep.
And it's just half a run, yeah.
Not half of run, but maybe like 1/3 or so.
I think nowadays with the new, if you did it for the current runs, because that was an old run, I think I was a minute slower back then. It comes almost half a run.
Also, this is a level when you can't kill anyone. So my movement is sort of distorted, and if I move too much, I'll get a brain freeze. Also,
Yeah, you're kind of walking like you're drunk.
Also, if you played the game before, you probably remember the segment with the keycard, but that's totally redundant as far as speedrunning is concerned. We just skip that altogether. Because that...
Yeah, the keycard is the easy way, but we take the fast way.
I mean, not even easy way if you ask me. Like, name me one person who on their first playthrough had a good trauma. You can't.
I can't, yeah. It's the hardest though in the run.
Yeah, so coming up next we have the hardest level in the game, Assault, because instead of mobsters we're gonna fight cops. And they're different objects from, technically speaking, for the mobsters, so they behave differently. Like, for example, they just can't be knocked up against a wall, and they have also different AI logic. And obviously that's worse AI logic even. Like, the pathfinding is even worse. And some
The level is also just bad. Like, something about how they made the level ruins the past. It's just, they're so buggy, I hate this level.
Yeah, we have to like play the level a lot because we have to get used to, because we have to get good at it, but still that doesn't really solve the problem, because you have on the first floor specifically so many robbers, so many random things that can go on, and most of these things can just kill you and you can't do anything about that, and that's just annoying. So this is my personally worst floor in the game, because apart from dying from 3, this has this specific skip. So this is a Richter skip, because that's how the guy's called. So we can just punch him through the wall because his hitbox wasn't programmed to be blocked by the wall, so we can just punch him.
Yeah, normally you would run around and get a key and open his cell and then talk to him, but we just punch him through the wall and that's fine. You can't punch normal enemies through walls. It won't let you, but they just forgot to do it for him, yeah. Well, that went well, you didn't... Oh no, you did die once, yeah. I mean,
I died on
like,
floor.
even dying once on assault is fine, like, it's the ultimate run killer.
I mean, I died once on the first floor and I have to do it safe for the third. Yeah, so coming up we have another pretty difficult level. This part is specifically difficult because these people with melee, they come up in totally random patterns and you have to actually handle this properly, unless you have a knife, but I don't, so knocked on his stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay.
What? I guess just watch this skill issue that I couldn't hit the bullets actually, whatever. Yeah, so
That left side is so stressful.
Yeah, because this game has another stupid mechanic that if you shoot someone, they will drop their weapons, and if that weapon hits someone, they get knocked down because it counts as it was thrown by the player.
Yeah, so you can get those domino effects where you hit one guy, but 5 guys end up on the ground, and so they stand up at random times.
Oh yeah, that's
It's a whole thing, man. It's like you have to think on the spot. Oh, how do I deal with this now the best? And what's maybe safe? What's maybe fast? And
yeah, so we have a boss fight now. I have to hit this panel 2 times, and the third phase is obviously the most stressful one. So I have to do something like that. There we go.
nice. You have to.
The important
Yeah.
thing is that he has invincible frames when he picks. First, when he pulls out his MP5s, and then another immunity frames when he gets hit by one of the knife, and he drops it. He drops one of his SMGs. So we have to pay attention to that, or otherwise the knife will just go past through him and will do nothing.
Yeah, the timing is quite precise, and the hitbox is quite small too. It's on his hands, not on his head. That also took like 1 or 2 years for people to figure out, I think. Maybe more.
So this is not over yet, because we still have one more chapter to go. So our protagonist this time is gonna be... yes, the same guy we have used to teleport to the elevator. So his gameplay specific is kind of different, because he has a cleaver that has no inactive frames. So we can just hold the button and you can die. You don't need to actually time your hits. And throwing knives of perfect accuracy, so that's not RNG actually. But on the other hand, he cannot pick up enemy weapons. And also he has 15% movement boost, so half of whatever Brandon has. So we are going to play only 4 levels with him. Actually 2 of the levels, because...
The rest is like a cutscene.
Yep.
So this is the last level with a lot of gameplay, with like proper gameplay in it, and it's a doozy. The next floor is gonna be really annoying. Like even there, Jekyll almost got shot by that guy. That's just the RNG. It depends on where he decides to walk.
Gotta focus now.
Yeah, he got unlucky there again with the knockdown, so he killed one guy, but then his weapon falling down dropped, like, made another guy knocked down, and you lose time. You just keep losing time to these things. 1 second here, 1 second there.
I couldn't execute him because I would read that there were 2 gunmen behind the glass and they could shoot me.
Yeah, there's a lot of visibility, there's a lot of glass in that level. You can't afford to do anything
also,
funny.
if people see you through glass, they react faster than if they see you on the open field without any transparent obstacles. I know that sounds ugly, but that's just how it works.
There's a lot of detail to how the enemies work.
Okay,
If maybe you
so
remember
coming
this
up
room
now,
from earlier.
Yep, so coming up now we have like the last thing worth mentioning, so if I want to execute him in this very specific position, and then maybe I'll get it. I got it. So the thing is that I have to turn exactly at 19% angle. The less of an angle, the less of a chance is that I will get connect with a clip. However, if you overdo things, then the jacket's hitbox may just go so deep that you won't be able to execute him sound luck. Also, this is the last level of the game, and the time...
This is the last level, yeah, so
yes,
time is coming up.
The time stops when I touch the mountain bike.
So basically in 3, 2, 1,
Time.
now. That's
so
Angel
that
plus
was,
all levels.
that was the game. What was the final time, if I may ask?
That was 23:47. If I
Dude.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so 24. When I started running the game, the world record was above. It was just slower than that. So it's nice to have. It's
Okay.
nice to look at the skill nowadays and the knowledge. I think the knowledge is really big now. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's it from me. You're gonna have another
that's,
run.
I think that's everything in equal measures, like practice, knowledge, make knowledge about game mechanics, and obviously just practicing stuff and so. Okay, so I think that's it as far as Hotline is concerned. Thank you, Jorinstein, for being with me as always.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you
So-
everyone for watching and coming up next. I have Sniper if somehow you didn't get sick of me. Okay, so
Okay,
We'll
so
see you.
a couple of words from me. Thank you guys. That was an amazing run. Extremely informative. For a game that dynamic, I actually had a feeling that I knew what was going on. So, congrats, actually.
thank you.
Thank you very much. As mentioned, upcoming is Sniper Elite 4, again by Jackal. I hope it will be as amazing of a run as this one was. And
I wish.
that will be in a couple of minutes. We will have a bit of a downtime. In the meantime, I actually encourage you to join our Discord, the Polish Speedrunners, where you don't actually have to be Polish nor a speedrunner. And, well,
to